TYT is partnering with participant media to help solve the climate crisis. Wouldn't that be great? Now, look, you got to check out our series, 10 Days of Action, to learn more about what you can do to make a difference. And go see an inconvenient sequel, Truth to Power, in theaters in New York and LA on July 28th and nationwide August 4th.
We have an update to the story about a Tennessee judge who offered sentence reductions in exchange for inmates getting vasectomies and/or birth control. So, Judge Sam Benningfield's now rescinded standing order was first issued in May and allowed White County inmates to wipe 30 days off their sentences if they agreed to a vasectomy. Women were able to receive a Nexplanon birth control implant for the same sentence reduction. The American Civil Liberties Union of Tennessee applauded Benningfield's reversal, no duh. They say, quote, "To the individual faced with these collateral consequences of time spent behind bars, a choice between sterilization or contraception and a reduced jail sentence is not much of a choice at all." This comes from the executive director. The judge's order crossed a constitutional line and we are pleased that he rescinded it. For his part, Benningfield told the Times Free Press, quote, "I wasn't on a crusade. I don't have a mission. I thought I could help a few folks, get them thinking, and primarily help children." He cited a meeting with the Tennessee representatives from the Department of Health, and they were seeking to educate inmates on the dangers of using drugs while pregnant. And he was also talking about offering free contraceptives and pointed to other local judges who are offering sentence reductions in exchange for the completion of educational programs. Now, obviously, he jacked that up a whole bunch. Worth noting, though, is although vasectomies and birth control implants are no longer available in exchange for less time to serve, inmates in White County can still receive 2 days of credit on their sentences if they successfully complete a Tennessee Department of Health neonatal syndrome education program. That seems pretty reasonable to me. Are you surprised that he changed his tune, guys?
Well, he got a lot of heat for it.
He got a lot of heat.
Yeah. And I don't know his politics, but I know that some conservatives are like, yeah, let's do some vasectomies.
Yes.
And I remember, wait, I thought you guys were against birth control.
Yeah.
Oh, when it's for poor people, all of a sudden you are for birth control. Isn't that funny how it works? In fact, permanent birth control.
Yeah.
That is quite funny. And so is it constitutional? No. He's like, well, it's optional. No, you can't say, all right, well, now you committed a robbery or something, you got 7 years, but you can knock a year off your sentence for if we cut off your pinky. Look, you might take it. You might, a year of your life's a big deal. You might, no, we're not cutting off people's pinkies. We're not the Taliban. We're not giving vasectomies to guys. And by the way, for only 30 days off his sentence. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's nothing. I think I was going to ask you if White County is a poor place. I didn't have a chance to look it up, but you know, like in the 70s and the 70s, there was a big amount of women of color who got hysterectomies. That was a very big thing in poor communities. That just reminded me of this. It feels like history is repeating itself, and it's like not the good history. I'm all for educational programs to help people who are in prison, because a lot of them don't have a strong educational background if they come from poor places. But vasectomies and Norplants, guys, come on.
Yeah, and look, finally, if you have a question as to why he's doing this and the effects of it. So at first, when I saw the headline back when this first story came out and he had announced this, I thought, no, it's probably for rape, right? And so I'm still against that, because that's not what we should be doing to people. I mean, what are we gonna make them eunuchs, right? But it turns out it's not for rape. I'm like, vasectomies for what then? And then I read the part about, birth control for women because they might be on drugs and it could hurt the baby. I'm like, okay, maybe, all right, at least there's a fig leaf there, right? And then I found out, no, it's also for guys for random crimes. So no, it didn't have anything to do with protecting the kids or protecting women. It turns out you thought, these people are bums, they shouldn't have kids. If these people have kids, I mean, the kids are, well, but by definition, they will suffer because they're, look at these people. And no, even if it's not based on race, and historically it has been, in this case, again, I don't want to judge too harsh. I don't know the exact contours of the people it applies to, but it almost certainly has to do with class, right?
Yeah, and he sort of cites this where he says that he was looking at some of the people that he had incarcerated, and he was talking about women whose children had to be removed, and like drug addiction, like you were talking about. And then with regards to the men, because that's sort of the question here, he was saying that they were having trouble not supporting these kids, and he decided to take an extra step That's how he qualified it. But this is what, I mean, especially when you know that there are educational programs to be offered, this is way too severe.
You know what, let me say one last thing about it. Again, I don't know why I'm being so polite to this guy, but like, maybe having read his statements, I'm not positive that he has bad intent, right? And he might think that he has good intent, which is actually how a lot of stereotypes work. You don't know that you don't actively think like, I hate poor people or whatever, right? But he has assumptions built in. This, like if you said to him, hey, you know what, your neighbor is a tax evader, and so he's really rich and he's doing well and his kids are going to this or whatever, right? But he's a serious criminal. He stole way more, or he did a white collar crime. He stole way more than the guy who you want to give a vasectomy to. Do you think we should neuter him? He would say, no, he's a good upstanding citizen.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
That bias is built into his head. So when he sees a poor person, female or male, for whatever crime, he thinks they shouldn't be having kids.
Yep.
Well, everyone thinks they're a good guy in their own story. And that and unfortunately he doesn't realize his own prejudice in asserting that on the lives of people.
Help us build independent media together. Come join us, tytnetwork.com/join.